General Staff, Russia has lost 540,490 troops in Ukraine since February 24, 2022.
Here's a summary of the article.
Your profile can be used to present content that appears more relevant based on your possible interests, such as by adapting the order in which content is shown to you, so that it is even easier for you to find content that matches your interests. Content presented to you on this service can be based on your content personalization profiles, which can reflect your activity on this or other services, possible interests and personal aspects. Information regarding which content is presented to you and how you interact with it can be used to determine whether the content, e.g., reached its intended audience and matched your interests. Reports can be generated based on the combination of data sets regarding your interactions and those of other users with advertising or content to identify common characteristics. Information about your activity on this service, such as your interaction with ads or content, can be very helpful to improve products and services and to build new products and services based on user interactions, the type of audience, etc. Content presented to you on this service can be based on limited data, such as the website or app you are using, your non-precise location, your device type, or which content you are interacting with. Certain information is used to ensure the technical compatibility of the content or advertising, and to facilitate the transmission of the content or ad to your device.
This post received a score of 8,600, with an upvote ratio of 96%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
Russian military never managed to change itself into professional like US did, and it shows in absurdly high loss of its soldiers, cannon fodder.
It's very intentional. Russian commanders are more afraid of their own soldiers than the enemy. A competent subordinate is a threat.
That seems to be a thing with all forms of Russian leadership. Even to the absolute top this day in age, Putin is most likely scared of military, mercenary, and financial leaders of Russia than Ukrainian forces or anyone else in the world. I'm certain he feels a knife stab in the back could be just a moment away when someone who isn't an absolute lapdog is around him.
Totalitarianism in power invariably replaces all first-rate talents, regardless of their sympathies, with those crackpots and fools whose lack of intelligence and creativity is still the best guarantee of their loyalty. Hannah Arendt, The Origins of Totalitarianism.
How much does it take to replenish military personnel? Asking because, if the numbers I found online are to be believed, Russia has a total of just above 3.5 million military personnel, including reserves and paramilitary forces. The rate at which these soldiers are dying is brutally quick.
You field your best first, too. The last 500k will basically be pensioners.
I'd say they would still have enough able-bodied men to field an army should things get even more dire. However, those would have to be Western Russians who Putin has largely spared from the war. Once the war is shown to be beyond ignoring anymore, I'm sure that Russia will suddenly find it much harder to simply carry on life as usual. It's happening at a glacier's pace, but Russia is certainly approaching a major inflection point in its ability to carry on this level of warfare. They have plenty of mercenaries they can bring in, but even at the optimal amounts they'd never be able to coordinate that many foreign troops coming in to replace the losses.
Fully agreed, especially on the coming inflection point.
My biggest hope is we see Ukraine's next major maneuver being a way to take significant territory. Not necessarily as dramatic as Crimea or even the Kharkiv route from earlier in the war, but even a relatively small push in a key area could see Ukraine make back as much territory as Russia has taken in the last year or so of fighting. Big changes on the map though get through, and Russia has enjoyed a long sustained period of just small, consistent gains. Once that trend is broken, we'll see some fireworks.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to Speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.